Haq Do Tehreek is, according to Haq Do Tehreek, is not related to Jamaat-e-Islami. It's a rights movement for the people of Gwadar. So the Haq Do Tehreek basically has three demands or 3 points on which this movement is based. First of all, that majority of the people in Gwadar, they are fishermen, they belong to the fishermen community, and they are against this deep sea fish trawling. So what is deep sea fish trawling? That large boats with mechanized nets, they come near the seas of Gwadar, and their nets are so thin and so large that they extract everything below the water in the sea, including the eggs of the fishes and everything. So in a way, they just completely destroy the marine life, and then there is no fish left for the people of Gwadar to fish. So they want to bring an end to that. Secondly, they want government to allow them to start informal trade with Iran, because over the years, for many decades, people in Gwadar have relied on this border trade with Iran for their livelihood. And in recent times, like last 4 or 5 years, government has made it really strict for them to do. So they just wanted some ease in those restrictions. And thirdly, they wanted reduction in the number of the security checkpoints. So Gwadar was always been, historically it has been a peaceful place, but ever since the start of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor projects and the arrival of the Chinese and the port operations, and again due to some terror attacks and security threats, there are a lot of security checkpoints were established at many places in Gwadar, and people were stopped there. They were asked about their identity, so it was really, really problematic for them. So the people were really fed up, and when Maulana Hidayatur Rehman started this movement, like he managed to galvanize all these people, all these deprived people of Gwadar who just united under his banner, and they protested for their rights last year. It started in 2021, and they did it for 1 month in 2021, and they were successful. Government negotiated with them. They got some relief, like there was some temporary reduction in deep sea fish trawling, and government made some ease in Iran border trade, and there was significant reduction in the number of security checkpoints. But there are several other related demands that, according to Haq Do Tehreek, the government did not make good on those promises. And as a result, around on 28th October, the government, Haq Do Tehreek again resumed its protest, and it continued for almost 2 months. Like it was on the 60th day that the government cracked down on it on the midnight between 25th and 26th December. And we can talk about that if you have an additional question related to it. Because in 2021, they had a very successful and like a very long protest for almost 30 days. And it was unprecedented. Like all political parties of Gwadar supported them, so the government was compelled to negotiate with them. And government assured them that just end your protest and all your demands will met. And temporarily, so for some period, those demands were met. But again, because a lot of vested interests are involved in this deep sea fishing, trawling, and everything, so then after just 1 or 2 months, everything was again back to the normal situation where the people of Gwadar have deprivations and they have grievances. So in a way, government could not like provide a long-lasting solution to the demands of the protesters, and that's why they again resumed their protest. So that's the one aspect. And second aspect is that Maulana Hidayatur Rehman, the leader of this movement, he has some political aspirations. We want to contest elections for the provincial assembly seat in next elections, and this protest movement is like he is banking on it, and he has galvanized the people of Gwadar, and he plans to carry out this protest to ensure that he can have a landslide victory in the next elections. And even so he had to do something like this. He had to do a protest movement, and which he did successfully again this year. Like this time, there was certain protest was for 2 months, so that's a very long period of time. But still, all his supporters were with him for 2 months, and government was forced to crack down. And this crackdown has once again, I think, it has like strengthened the support and the sympathies of people of Gwadar. They have increased with Maulana, and now he is at large. He is like not in police custody, and he is still not in public leading his people. So he has escaped somewhere. We are not sure where he is, but from his place where he is hiding, he is sharing videos, messages to his supporters, and he just plans to continue the protest. So although the protest movement has ended and the government crackdown has ended, and there was a internet shutdown for almost 10 days, and even the international human rights watchdogs such as Amnesty International criticized this ban, and they urged the government of Pakistan to lift the internet ban. And earlier in the morning, the internet ban was lifted. So now, so what Agdo Tehreek was claiming, that there has been a sort of curfew has been imposed in Gwadar in different ways. So that alleged curfew has been lifted to some extent, but still, it's not over. Maulana is still on the ground, and he will continue this protest until and unless government meets all of his demands, which seems very difficult for the government. And then there are this election aspect and everything. So it is even in the interest of Maulana. So now I think for now there will not be any major protest, at least for now, because government has arrested over 100 people of the Do Tehreek, and some of its leaders they have also been imprisoned, and government also dealt with them very harshly. Some there are allegations that houses of the some of the supporters were burned and they were beaten and everything. So there was this strict action by the government, and I think for some time there will not be any protest, but deep down inside people have these grievances, and after some time there probably before the elections we will again see another major protest, because the problem of as I mentioned earlier, the problem of deep sea fish trawling, it involves billions of rupees and kickbacks and everything, so it's really difficult to control. And if it remains unsolved, then the people of Bangladesh, they will again come to protest. And but the thing about Gwadar is, the weather in Gwadar is really warm. It's very harsh in summer. So all these sit-in protests and everything, they have to be in the period which is not summer. So I think ideally from August, September to March is the period where the people can afford to have these sit-ins. Otherwise, in the peak summer time, it would be really difficult for Bangladeshi people to even to sit in this harsh weather of Gwadar for long duration of protests. So what I can foresee is that Lagdo Tehreek might plan to do another sit-in protest, possibly around February or March, because after March the weather will be inhospitable for any sort of protest movements.